Hello and welcome to Tarot Sherpa. I'm Christine and today I'll be doing a reading using the Tarot of the Dragons. I have just completed a review of Tarot of the Dragons and you can find that review in the description box below. But this is a general for whoever reading. I am going to use the 5 Dragons spread that is in the accompanying handbook to this deck. And it focuses on the 4 elements: fire, water, earth, and air, plus the element of spirit, to get a nice, well-rounded but succinct reading. And I think we'll probably use our Star Dragons Oracle deck to accompany this as well. I have also recently completed a review using the Star Dragons Oracle, so I'll put that in the description box below as well. Okay, let's go ahead and cut the cards and we will begin. So the first card I'm going to take is going to be a general energy card or a signature card. I just want to kind of get the overall vibe where this reading's going to go. And so we'll begin with the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords in this deck is a little bit of transformation through tragedy. You know, if you think about the Queen of Swords in many decks, she's a little bit of, yeah, come bring it. Yeah, I got this challenge. But this Queen of Swords is facing tragedy and yet is resilient and is transformed by it, symbolized by all these beautiful little butterflies kind of flying around her head. So we'll begin with that as our signature card. So as we're looking for triumph through tragedy, we also have to think about the swords as being the air suit, or the suit of the mind, the suit of the intellect, the suit of logic. And so perhaps things that a person thought were supposed to work out or should have worked out in a certain way didn't materialize. It didn't happen. It didn't work out the way it planned, or it didn't work out at all. And so there's some recovery that has to take place. So let's look at what form that kind of recovery is going to take. And so our first card is going to be the Earth energy card. How do we deal with this in the physical and material realm? And so let's see what we get for this. The Star. So the Star is a card of healing and hope. And we will begin with the idea that, yes, when we experience, beg your pardon, tragedy, we need to hold on to hope. We need to hold on to that guiding light that gets us through the darkness, that shows us the direction we're supposed to go. And stars are very, very individual. Everybody sees the sun, everybody benefits from the sun, but the star can certainly be a personal goal, a personal path, the guiding light to something that's very unique to the individual. And so our earthly card reminds us to keep our eyes not always looking down at the tragedy, but to look up to the stars and find that healing, find that hope, find that guidance that will lead us onward through this sense of recovery. So that's our Earth Dragon. Our next card is the Coiled Dragon. It's the energy and growth and change about to happen. This is our fire. This is how do we get through this? How do we find that motivation, that ambition, that spark, that inspiration? Knight of Swords, another intellectual air card, but in this sense, we need to look at our knight as taking hold of the truth of the situation and moving forward. The knight is a card of action, and it's the fire of air. If you think about the knights always being of a fiery temperament, swords being the suit of air. So we've got this burst of energy. So yes, things haven't worked out, but there is hope, there is a new direction, and we've got this burst of energy, this desire to act, this intellectual capacity for forward movement. All right, the hidden dragon, the emotional influences, the instinctive, the subconscious, the watery cups kind of energy. So where are we going to go with the hidden dragon? Knight of Cups. So we get a cups for the emotional. And so Knight of Cups comes through, and once again it's the fire, but this time it's the fire of water. It's using this intellect and putting some emotions behind it. We can think things, but feeling them is a completely different level of being. You can't force yourself to really feel something until you really think your way into it and see it as beneficial to yourself. Feelings are separate from the logic. So feelings aren't always explained by logic, but they can influence and be influenced by one's thoughts. So these aspirational thoughts that we have with this Knight of Swords go into aspirational feelings with this Knight of Cups. And this Knight of Cups is an interesting little protector. He's scooped up a little tiny seal. I don't know if you can quite see that in his cup. It's a seal. And he's rescued it from a polar bear that's patrolling the ice below. And so the idea is that there is ways to rescue, but it's rescuing yourself in this instance. You can save this. You can save your sense of self. And that's completely within your realm of possibility and responsibility. You can take this tragedy and you can grow from it, and you can not only get inspired, but you can use what you've learned to help other people. So let's look at our heavenly dragon, and this would normally be the air suit. I'll be interested to see if we get some more swords coming in for this one. Oh, we get some major arcana. We get the Lovers. And the Lovers is a card where we have to follow our heart's desire. We have to make choices that make our heart happy. So in this sense of tragedy and transformation through that, you've got your major arcana right now are the Star and the Lover. So this is finding your way using the Knights of inspiration and emotion to get to that place where you're making choices that bring you joy. So let's look at the final card, and that's card number 5, which is our Spirit Dragon. What's going to bring this all together? Spirit Dragon, and the Spirit Dragon is the Tower. This is the idea that we have to go through this difficult situation with the Queen of Swords, this difficult tragedy, this sense of loss, but we have to do it with a mindset that we're going to grow from this, but it will change. It will change you as a person. The Tower changes us. It forces us to grow. It forces us to re-examine our beliefs. It forces us to change. And sometimes we need to make changes and we're very reluctant to do that, or we don't really know what changes need to be made until the Tower event happens. And then it's very, very obvious where we have to go after the Tower. So if we think about this reading in total, we've got 3 major arcana cards in a 6-card reading, which is saying that this reading is a very impactful for people going through tragedy to know that yes, there's hope. There is a way to find your heart's desire. And yes, it will change you. But that's a good thing, because if we're not transformed by our tragedies, we will repeat them, and we will repeat them, and we will repeat them, and we will wonder why life sucks. But if we allow ourselves to be transformed and renewed, we've got some renewal here with the card. renewal of your thoughts, renewal of your feelings. Through that process of renewal, you find your heart's desire and you're changed for the better. I mean, Tower cards are very strong cards. That's very impactful circumstance in one's life. But the idea is the tragedy is for the better. It's for the growth. It's for moving on. Yes. Tragedy. And you know this. You're fired up. You're ready. You're emotionally ready to move on. You're intellectually ready to move on. And now it's time to take those physical actions and move on from the tragedy. And, you know, if it's boxing up your ex's love letters and putting them in the closet or burning them or whatever you do for catharsis, have that catharsis. Have that moment where you acknowledge the pain and you let it transform you and you let it go. Yeah. Embrace the transformation, because that's what this is all about. There's a reason for this discomfort, and it's to help you to grow. And in growing, you will find the things that you truly value and love. I promised a couple of oracle cards. Let's do a Star Dragon oracle. Let's do this. So let's talk about the Tower. Let's have an oracle go with this Tower, please. Independence. Carving your own path. So yeah, this could be leaving a place of employment that you liked, but it wasn't working. Maybe they downsized. Maybe it was a relationship you needed to move on from. It could have been any kind of relationship. It could have been a romantic relationship. It could have been a friendship. It could have been a business relationship. It could have been a spiritual relationship, in that you were a member of a particular church or a group or an organization, and it no longer fit your beliefs or your needs emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And so yeah, your independence is there, but that's okay, because that gives you the freedom to look for the things that you love. Okay? Independence, carving your own path. I wish you luck, and I wish you joy as you carve your own path. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.